as a hairdresser, we're so creative, and I think we think outside of the box and just really independent thinking.
I got a date with this girl. Do you know how to cut hair? And he goes like, I said yes, but I've never done it. So he cut his hair. I think he's in this pink
I don't know.
Hummer limo.
Probably someone that thinks they're super special.
You know that joke that say like, I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 so that I can work 24/7.
Yeah, no, that is literally it.
And he cut you off of that one?
No.
CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion.
Look, I even got Sam's glasses if I need them.
Oh, yeah. You do? Well, we're rolling.
What, right now?
Yeah.
Oh!
We're up and running. So, welcome to the CEO InMotion podcast.
Crazy.
How are you, Cena?
I'm good. How are you?
Super good.
Good.
All right, so we'll get the see. Like, see. So, as long as this is flashing right here,
Okay.
we're going. The camera's gonna turn off just to say battery. If you want to take a look at your hair, you know, which is very nice. You know a thing or two about hair, don't you?
I mean, a little bit, I guess.
I guess we'll get into that. It's really cool. And you can just tap the back of the camera and it'll pop up.
Wait, what do you mean? Tap what?
Like
if
just,
it goes
just,
away?
Yeah, you can just tap the screen
Okay.
and it'll,
Crazy.
it's like, you don't need to shake it to wake
This
it
is
up
cool.
or anything. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So you are an overachiever. I like to say that we've done maybe about 15, 16 episodes. And we usually just ask, hey, just give us like 2-3 things that we don't know that you might want to.
Uh-oh.
And I think you made it like maybe a big deal, but you gave me like the assignment. You gave me like
Not
the list.
really. Well,
I thought it was really great. I was like, oh, I love it. Some people don't say anything because they're just busy, and other people they're like, you know what, you probably don't know I have, you know, this one-legged cat or whatever that I really want.
my gosh.
That I really want to talk about.
I mean, that's true. I could give you a lot of random things, but
But anything that has to do with like business. So tell us your name and let's start off with your Instagram handles and what do you do for work?
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, my name's Cena Jordan.
Whoop, whoop.
And I'm a hairdresser here in Las Vegas. And I have been for 15 years. Almost 15 years. And yeah, I
Started young.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Yeah, kind of young. I was 21. And then, yeah, I own 2 salons in town. My first one I opened up 7 years ago, and then
What's the name?
Wildflower Collective.
Where is it?
It is in Summerlin.
Okay, there you go.
And the other one I opened like 3 minutes down the road 2 years ago, called Poppy Collective. And yeah, my first one was really small for like having like an upscale salon, like a high-end salon. It's kind of considered small, but that's what I wanted. And then
Well, that was your first business.
that was my first business, yeah. And then I opened up my second one, which is a little bit bigger. So yeah.
There you go. You're being shy, but I've seen the place. It's beautiful.
Yes.
I know a few of the people that work there.
Yes.
And it is in summer. It's a beautiful location. So what made you like open up a second one just so close to it? Wouldn't you like take away from your own clientele?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
So I just like I don't want to like come off like stuck up or anything because I don't feel like I'm that type of person.
You're not. I can vouch.
But yeah, so when I opened up my first salon, it was really successful right away, and I didn't expect that to happen.
Is it people were just like knocking on the door to be there, or how
think-
did you promote it?
Well, I think that it really helped me because I created kind of like a name for myself in the industry here in Las Vegas for hairstylists, and I was really involved in just our community of hairdressers. Like I was always showing up for classes, and there was always events. And then a certain part of my career, like I wanted to become like an educator with a brand, and I was able to do that, which was a really cool opportunity. And then also I entered a competition for a really popular hair color line, and award for the United States for color.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big deal. So that
Yeah.
was like the launching
Yeah.
point for...
Yeah, so during that
Okay.
like time in my career, I was...
How old were you?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. It was in 2016. And yeah, so I don't know, I'm 37 this year, so
Okay.
yeah. I'm not good
16,
at
so
math.
8, so 37, so 29.
29, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, when I was kind of like doing all of that and hitting like this really big peak in my career, I think that just I'm a friendly person naturally, and yeah, I think I created just like a name for myself, but I envisioned like opening up a specific type of salon, and when I did, I think that a lot of people, when I announced that I was opening a salon, a lot of people wanted to come and work for me, I think. So.
To work for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
because so this podcast is all about like the business, the mindset,
Right,
how
yeah.
do you grow something, because a lot of people who maybe follow in your career, they just do it for themselves and they're comfortable with, you know, having a full book of, you know, appointments, and that's that.
Yeah.
But you were having people come up to you so they can work for you,
Yeah.
not just as assistants, right, but just as to have additional
Yeah.
stylists.
Yeah, I think
That's pretty cool.
It was cool, yeah.
That's cool.
I think that a lot of people just saw how passionate I was about the hair industry and how involved I was, and
It must be huge here in Vegas, no?
it is huge. I mean,
I see people's hair's done up like all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so
think,
many.
like Las Vegas is definitely like who you know, what you look like. I don't really know how to describe that about like our world
Are
here.
you from here?
But yeah, I am.
You were born?
I was born here.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, you're an actual like
Native.
born, raised native. That's rare. I don't think I've had anyone like that here.
Everybody says that, but I know so many people that
You
are
do?
native.
You do?
Yeah.
They're just not my friend. Like, I
mean-
just don't know them yet.
No, but it is true. Like everyone I talk to says that, but then I think just because I'm a native, I know
Mhm.
a lot of people that I went to school with, that I grew up around, you know.
Do they do the same things as you? Do you still keep
No.
your friends from?
Yeah, I have some friends from high school still, and I think some moved away, but I actually have a good amount of high school friends. Not that live here though, so
Yeah. Okay.
one, I think.
So some they just left
they
here.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
yeah,
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a little brother that is 28.
Does he live here?
He does
He's
live
your
here.
little bro.
Yeah.
He's 28.
Yeah.
Does he have a family? Is he having like best time in Vegas at 28? I feel like it's such a great time to
He
be.
actually he fell in love with a girl in high school, and
Uh-huh.
they're still together.
Oh my god. Is
Yeah.
he a high school sweetheart?
High school sweetheart, and they're actually getting married next week in Costa Rica.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Shout out to your little bro.
I
Happy
know.
birthday. By the time this comes out, you already been back from Costa Rica and
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So they've been together since high school. So that's
Yeah.
10 years. I mean, I don't know how long they've been, but
Yeah.
that's about right. Same amount of time as me.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're high school sweethearts, and yeah, they're getting married next week. So I'm excited to see them get married. But yeah.
I'm always curious what prompts people to start their business. So I want to like find out like the whys. Like, what was your? I broke my own rule. I always tell people, see what happens when you shop early. Just like I go through my checklist.
I'm sorry.
So also Cena is the first person that was like waiting for me at the pickup spot, and I'm 30 minutes early always from our meeting, but she was already there, so congratulations. Yeah,
Well, if you
lots of
ask
firsts.
anyone that knows me, I'm always 15 minutes late. So
Yeah?
literally to everything. Like I
You reversed it and doubled it. Yeah,
I know. It's so true. I can't even
Um,
believe I was early. But yeah.
And I usually turn off my phone and I tell the guests, by the way, just turn your phone on silent.
Mess things up for you.
Especially mine, because mine goes in. But so I like to know, like, the come up story, like what happened, like how
Yeah.
did you get involved with what you do, like what is someone inspired you, how does someone get involved with becoming a business owner and styling?
Well, like as in like how I started doing hair or opening
Yeah.
a business.
First, how you started doing hair, like what was the reason, like this is something I want to do, this is something that I like to do. What was the first person, the first
Yeah.
reason for you to do it?
Honestly, there wasn't like a specific person that made me want to do hair, but I will say that my mother
Mhm.
was very encouraging of it, because I think that she saw a natural talent for it when I was a little girl. I I just always really loved to play with her hair, and starting from like 7th grade, the girls in my neighborhood would come to my house and I'd like curl their hair, style their hair before we caught the bus.
So that's what I'm getting at. So you were doing some just naturally,
Yes.
you enjoyed it, girls came over.
Yes.
So a week or a couple weeks ago, I had my own barber, and he was sharing that story. He's
Oh, you
like,
did?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And he said, I lied. He's like, my friend said, hey man, I got a date with this girl. Do you know how to cut hair? And he goes like, I said yes, but I've never done it. So he cut his hair, and I guess the day must have gone well. Then that guy said to his high school friends, hey, you know, Zay cuts hair, and then he started cutting hair. So similar to you. So you had friends come over, and you started sort of like.
No, I did, and then that actually
cool.
is like really common, I think, with hairdressers and barbers. A lot of barbers will just like start cutting hair in their garage, which is like so cool, and I feel like that says a lot for. I don't know if it actually says a lot, but as a hairdresser, we're so creative, and I think we think outside of the box, and just really independent thinking. So just going and starting a business, I feel like, is a natural way of thinking as for a hairdresser.
Did you ever? I'm gonna shine you with a light. Did you ever work for someone?
As a hairdresser?
Like did you ever have like a job that was outside of like hairdressing? You know how most people grow up and they work at the mall here, or you know, something else. Like
I've had a million jobs.
You did?
It's actually like nothing that I'm proud of, but it is a fun fact about me.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I even ever mention it is because my husband we've been together for 15 years as well.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy, whoop whoop. And he always like will stumble upon something, or will do something, or will be out, and I was like, oh, I used to work there. And he's like, what?
How many jobs
Another
did you get?
job? Like, how have I been with you for 15 years? And like, you've had all these jobs that I don't know of. So, but yeah, I mean, my very first job ever was working at a movie theater at Brennan Theaters in the Palms. And I really...
Were you like the person like giving out the popcorn?
I did everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it was actually like so fun to do all of the jobs.
That's cool. You get to see free movies.
Yeah, you get to see free movies. They always held all the premieres there, so we got to see a bunch of really cool like movie stars and stuff.
That is a cool job.
It is a really cool job because it was, I think, at a newer hotel in Las Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas, yeah.
And so we got a lot of really just like cool opportunities when we worked there. But yeah, I always thought it was really cool whenever I worked in the box office and when I, you know, sold the popcorn and the candy, because I am such a people person and I love talking to people. So that was also fun. But then whenever I was doing the cleaning job, I don't even know what they called it, but I got to sneak in and watch the movies. So there's a lot of movies that people will say now, like when I'm working or whatever, they'll say, oh, have you ever seen that movie? And I'm like, I've only seen like half of it.
Oh, because you're supposed to go back.
I was like cleaning or something, which is weird to think about. But yeah, so I've done that. I was a lifeguard for a while. Cabana host.
Really? Where? What place?
I was a cabana host I started at Caesars.
Well, that's a big one to start.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That was a really cool job at... Oh.
The sun. There you go.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
But by the way, they're all like filming at the same time, so if one turns off, like it doesn't matter. No, we don't need to like pause. The editor will come.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
cabana job at the Caesars.
Job. Yeah, so Caesars, that was a cool job, but at the time of that job, I actually had 2 other jobs at the same time. So that's another weird fact about me is I think I'm just naturally a workaholic. I worked for Red Bull and I used to drive the Red Bull cars.
Did you? You had cool ass jobs.
Super cool, yeah.
Red Bull, you were one of the Red Bull girls?
Yes, I was a Red Bull girl.
Get out, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
You know, that was
so
one of
fun.
the brands that I always wanted to work for.
Really?
Like, it was a dream job because I wanted to be the field marketing manager for Red Bull.
I think the whole company was really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was super
I got
cool.
so close. I was like second and runner up on it.
Yeah, that would have been really cool because the company is actually really cool. In general, like beverage companies, I think do a really great job with marketing.
I love this.
Yeah.
I have a secret, but probably by the time this comes out, I'll share it. But you know, I'm launching a beverage company.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've been working on it for months.
I wanted to ask you.
The only reason I'm talking about this is because
it's
it'll be out
come out.
already.
Yeah. Well, because you said you're announcing something in like 3 days, and so I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll tell me.
I've been doing a countdown.
Wait, stop! For real?
Yeah.
Wait, is it like an energy drink?
It's not considered an energy drink. No, it's an all natural energy drink, and it's been in the works for a long time. I've filmed videos about it, and I never posted it. I've been writing content. Yeah. So I love that you said that. I worked in beverages for 12 years.
Okay.
Before I started my business, but you're not getting away from your questions, Missy. So
you're fine.
yeah. So you work at Red Bull. So those were fun. Those
I
were
worked
a
at
fun
Red
job.
Bull. So I worked at Caesars, Red Bull, and I also was a baker at the same time. I really love to bake.
You do?
Yeah.
Wait, do you bring stuff to your salons? Do you bring like your little cupcakes?
I don't do it as much anymore, but yes, like the girls at work, they definitely know that I like to bake, and so
Okay, there you go.
I'll bring them stuff, or like, you know, if it's a special occasion, because I like to throw little get-togethers.
You throw some great get-togethers. So
thanks.
I went to one of them with you, and it was your house. You and Jerry put together. Yeah, you guys threw something together. I think Sam had just started working there.
Yeah, what was it? I don't know. Oh, it was just
a
like
pool party.
That's like wasn't even anything though.
No, you guys had like the full setup, like the food, the appetizers, like the hamburgers, the grilling, and your employees are just, you know, your friends. Like you guys are all hanging out. You guys are having a great time. And
for sure.
It was so fun. I remember that. That's one of the things that I know she appreciates, working like friendship with people and getting along. Who do you think is in this pink
I don't know.
Hummer limo?
Probably someone that thinks they're super special. But they probably are.
You don't think it's a girl, one of these that does the shows?
No, I think if it's like someone famous, they're definitely in like a small car.
They don't want to get the attention.
No, they don't want the attention. I wouldn't want the attention either if I was famous, you know?
I guess famous people just want to be normal, and normal people just want to have fame.
Yeah, no, that is exactly it, for sure. Yeah, That's so funny.
See, this is my favorite. If I could meet anybody in Vegas, it would be Bobby Flay.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm obsessed with like Bobby Flay.
I'm trying to remember like what he looks like, because
red hair chef. He beat Bobby Flay the show.
Yeah,
and he's got
I wonder because like
Jeremy
has had the opportunity to meet some really cool chefs, and you might have met him.
So let's talk about that. So Jeremy is your husband, and you guys work together. Do you guys own the business together?
Yes, we own the salons together, and he has a business that he owns with other business partners that I am not a part of.
He cut you off of the.
Thankfully.
Does he do good?
Yeah. Cut and taste? What do you mean?
Like, does his business do good? The other one?
Oh yeah, his business is great.
And he cut you off of that one?
No. I mean, I still reap the benefits of it for sure. I actually, because
the popo
of his business, I have had the opportunity to have my businesses. Truly, that is why I've been able to open up salons.
Wait, is he an investor in your businesses?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't necessarily say that, because it's just like a part of our savings. So, but yeah.
So did he put the money to open them up?
Yeah, I mean, it was like
But he co-owns it.
Yes, he co-owns it.
Okay,
yes.
so he's.
Yeah, so for all of our businesses, we didn't take out any loans or anything like that. It was just all of our money.
But I guess what I'm saying, like, because the way you phrased it is that he's my partner in the salons, but I am not an owner in his. He has other partners.
Okay, no, that's like, I didn't mean it in a way like that. So he opened up his business, and at that time, like, I didn't have any wants to open up a business. So when he opened up his business, it was kind of just like I wouldn't necessarily say fell into his lap, but it just happened. It wasn't something that was like planned way in advance. Like, it wasn't something that he necessarily knew was going to happen. And so when he opened up his business, it was right around the time that we got married.
It's catering business, right?
It's a catering business, yes.
Do you know what does it generate in revenue?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. It's
ballpark.
So, I mean, it's not that I don't remember. I just don't know. It changed every year, but it's
good.
Very successful.
Oh, I'm so happy for him. Yeah. I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, it's honestly like when we first met, we did not think our life was going to be anything like it is right now. But I guess that's like the beauty of life in general. But when we first met, I thought that I was going to be a hairdresser, and he was going to be like a food and beverage manager at a hotel here in town.
I mean, it's pretty close.
It's very similar, but like we didn't know.
Catering, and you were,
No, it is very similar, but it's different because we didn't know we were going to own businesses, and that's
I see what you mean.
different. You know, that's so different.
You thought you were gonna work for someone, not become business owners.
No, and like now, if you were to ask either one of us, like I'm sure as business owners, there's days that we sometimes daydream of working for other
Cheers.
people. I know
what you're talking about. Yeah, shit.
But like,
I've been in meetings since 7 this morning.
No, yeah. So like, there's days where we're like, oh gosh, it's like, you know, you work 24/7, like you work all the time.
You know that joke that say like, I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 so that I can work 24/7.
Yeah,
know,
no, that is literally it. So we of course we talk about that, like, oh, it'd be nice to work for other people, but we could never work for other people.
Is it the
now.
money?
I don't know. It's not the money, actually. No.
Like if somebody offered you the money that you make as a business owner to do it as a job, would you take it?
No.
That's really the question. And would he? Like,
he wouldn't. He
like
wouldn't.
if you become a beverage food manager for a big high end,
Yeah.
and the big salary was as much as you guys
There's
make
no
it.
way. He wouldn't.
No?
I don't think so, because
That's good. That's true entrepreneurship.
yeah, I really don't think so, because we've talked about even, you know, something that is not, we haven't really discussed with a lot of people, but I'm fine discussing it, is that like we would love to move to another country.
Ooh.
And I think that we would find a way for our businesses to still run. And we've kind of worked that way towards our business now, where like they could
Sustain itself,
potentially
yeah.
like run itself.
How many people do you have working for you?
So my business, I have employees, but I also have people that run their business in my business. But the total amount of people between the two salons is about like 40.
Oh wow, that's big.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to the other salon.
The other salon's bigger.
It's bigger.
Yeah.
Is it nicer?
Well,
I should clarify. So which salon? So for the
yeah, I'm like,
which one is nice?
don't put me on the spot like that.
Well, there is one that's nicer
Here's
than the
thing.
other.
Well, okay, you can say your question, but then I'll also go into like
Okay.
the details of it.
Of the two salons, which one's bigger?
Okay, so Poppy Collective, my second one that's newer, is bigger.
Got it. How many people work at that one?
There is, so I have 20 stations at that one. There is about probably like 22 people that work there.
So all the stations are
25.
and when you say like, because this is not
Yeah,
my
I
world.
know, yeah.
So some people work for you as an employee, and other people rent the space from you.
Yeah, so the way that I run my salons is that it's considered a hybrid salon. So there's two ways of going about like salon ownership. You can have, well, I guess there's not two ways, but you can either be a stylist that is a commission stylist, which means that you are an employee of the salon. They feed you clients. The salon gets a percentage of,
Who's they?
like as in the salon owners.
So the people that actually are your employees, you have to fill their
I
schedule.
fill their books, yeah.
And if they don't, they still get paid.
So that is like kind of like a touchy subject. Not touchy, I guess, but different states have different laws.
Mm-hmm.
But they make an hourly rate, and
see.
the way that we do it is that if they work more hour or make more in the hourly rate than they do in their commission, then they would get the hourly, but that literally never happens. So my stylists always make more in their actual sales, like service sales.
Got it. So if they
And-
were not to meet the minimum hourly,
Yeah.
they would guarantee the hourly. But because they do better in the sales, they're always doing
always making-
above the hourly.
Right.
What's the minimum hourly here in Vegas?
They just changed it.
Two?
I think it's
I haven't worked for anyone such a long
I know. I think it just got raised to like $14 an hour or
okay.
$12.75. I don't know.
Did you
they
see
literally
that California
just raised it.
went up to like 20?
20. I know.
Like,
That's great. It's hard for business owners,
Yeah.
but it's also really
it'll
great.
bankrupt a lot of people.
I know. It's so true. And like it's really also sad for some people too, because I think some people will lose their jobs because obviously the businesses can't pay
The business need to
everybody.
operate. You
Yeah.
you understand that you wouldn't be able to meet those needs, especially if you're a small business owner.
No,
Like
yeah.
both of us are.
Yes.
Obviously, we want to have. I didn't know you had that many people. 40 is like it's a big number, so there must be a little drama stuff sometimes that happens. I mean,
You know what?
Is it all women?
It is all women.
Like, for sure, there's drama going
We
on.
have one guy. There's no drama.
There isn't?
No, they get fired.
Oh,
It's
snap.
zero drama policy.
You keep it real, girl.
Girl?
Huh?
Guy? I know, I do. Like I don't.
I like that. I like that. Listen, you gotta
literally
stir
don't
the
deal
shit
with
up. You're out of here.
No,
You
I
can't be
can't.
in here.
Listen, that's like part of the reason why, one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to open up my own salon was because I am not competitive whatsoever. I consider myself very friendly. I'm an open book. I'm not surface level at all. If I have a problem with someone, I'd rather go to their face and talk about it and like discuss it, because there's probably some type of misunderstanding. And there's just like no reason for there to be drama. Like the drama I think comes from like misunderstanding someone, or someone comes in and has, like, everyone has bad days.
Yeah, it's just when there's that many people, and it just seems like there's bound to something, you know.
You're not wrong.
In any business.
For
in
sure.
business. I can't imagine having to deal. Do you have multiple managers, or how does it work?
So yes, I've recently, like, we've kind of gone through like a little bit of a shift, but we do always have a manager. So I have like a.
I'm gonna ask you about your tattoos. I didn't know.
Oh yeah. We have a stylist manager, and then we always have a salon manager. But right now, the way that we're running is we have 2 lead front desk coordinators, and they act as like managers. So they help me with things, and then I have like a whole leadership team that they have been with me for a really long time. They know how I like things ran. And like I said, I'm very much an open book, even with my front desk team. Like, they get to know me so well on a personal level and how I like things to run, that I think that there's a really good understanding of how people should communicate. And maybe there is drama that I don't know about, but
that always happens. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure
you just have to assume, like, when you're in a restaurant, like, for sure someone's stealing a little bit of shrimp, you know, somebody's doing something. Like, you just have to assume that in the inventory, you're gonna take somebody's gonna be lying.
Yes. So I'm sure there is like something, but here's the thing: is I'm so tight with so many people that work with me that eventually, if it gets to one of those people, which I'm gonna say out of like 40 people that work for me, I'm like so tight with like 35 of them.
Oh wow!
So like, if one thing is off, it comes straight to me.
And you can just feel the whole thing moves.
Yes, and so then whoever I know that there's like a problem, then I sit down with them and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And if I feel like I can fix it, we'll fix it. If not, then people know that is my policy there. I've had to, fortunately, I've only had to let go of 2 people because of that in the 7 years of owning a salon.
Oh, okay. So that's not many at all.
No.
I thought you were just like,
no,
you're fired.
No, I'm not mean. I'm trying to be understanding, but
yeah.
No, I just like don't like it. I don't deal with it. It's not like, doesn't feel good.
Does your husband fire them?
No, I do it.
Oh, so you do it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do it.
What was it like during COVID? Like, did you guys have have to go through a really difficult...
Yeah, that was hard.
You had both places open?
Both places... no, sorry. I just had Wildflower open. I opened up Poppy after COVID.
Have you been to this part of Vegas?
I haven't seen it.
Look how beautiful this is.
It's great.
We're at the Strat.
No, this
Most
is like
people
really
come
pretty.
to Vegas and they've never seen this now new sign of Las Vegas at the Strat.
This new sign is so beautiful.
Yep.
What a great welcome to like downtown too.
Right?
I love downtown.
Well, and this is where we make the turn, because then shit gets wild on the other side.
Downtown?
Yeah, I usually just go up and down, and there's still, I mean,
You've had wild
crazy
stuff happen?
things happen.
No,
in this
you haven't.
Yeah, they happen all the time.
Really?
All the time, yeah. From helicopters that are coming our way, people that just... There was a group of people at one time. There was like 20 bikers, and one of them grabbed my car and they started just following us like with the car.
No.
We had a Cybertruck that followed us for like 45 minutes and they started following us into the store. Yeah, I've had the fire truck that jumped over like between these palm trees, and it was coming our way. Like, and the girl was like freaking out because the fire truck's coming at us.
Oh my gosh.
We've had many things. So
honestly, I was really nervous about this because I'm a backseat driver.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I'm also an aggressive driver.
I'm driving pretty comfortably. How's that for you? Have you ever been in a Tesla?
Yeah, I used to drive one and I just got rid of it. No, okay, so...
So you knew about that.
I do know. Well, The first time that I found out about that power that the Tesla gives you, I was 39 weeks pregnant.
Oh my God.
And my child got sucked into my belly. I was driving in my husband's car and I wanted to kill him. I was like, are you kidding me? I feel like I just like, my child was gonna like go through my like back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was intense. But
it is super powerful.
Well, it is, but then also too, like I drove one for a year and a half, and like you don't realize when people are in the car with you how much power you're. Yeah, like people will just like they've never driven a Tesla before, and I'll be driving, and they're like, "Whoa, the power!" And I'm like,
they don't realize. Yeah,
you don't know when you're driving.
Yeah,
like,
I do it just to you know I always just punch it once when with somebody, and then people, and then I was with a personal injury lawyer, a big guy here in Vegas, and he's always like, punch it. It's like I was like, you work as a personal injury lawyer, like you know, you really want me to go fast? He's like, yeah, go, and I go. He goes like, yeah, and we just slammed it through, and then he's like, oh my God, he goes like, dude, that is badass. Like people have no idea how powerful this thing is.
No, it's really cool.
And that it drives itself. I mean, it could drive us back and forth.
I do miss that a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice.
Dang.
We'll see what's going on. It is Monday night too, so I film on Mondays and on Fridays.
Oh,
and
Fridays
when it's
are
Fridays,
wild.
it's busy here. You know, you get the people are doing the random stuff.
No, for sure.
Once I pulled into the circus, and I remember people were like coming on. There's people that they realize that I'm filming, and they follow, or like they'll knock and they'll be like, "It's the chava." It's funny.
Wait, like they know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, 'cause they know my car and they know I'm filming from the podcast.
Oh, because they see you, you're down here. Yeah. That makes sense.
So I've done like a bunch of stuff. So there's always something fun. So I'm always looking forward to. And that's how it started. So going to regular podcasts, you know, you always sit down on the same set.
Yeah.
You know, you sit down.
This is cool.
But if you're InMotion, you're literally like, that's why I didn't want to talk to you at the beginning.
No, I know.
Because all the small conversation, you know,
it happens for sure.
Just want it to be comfortable, natural, fun for people.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, this is such a niche, like, in a way, when it comes to like podcasts. Like, this is what kind of sets you apart, you know? Dang, they're jamming out.
That's loud. I mean, if we can hear it through our window.
Is it for him or is it for us? I need to know.
I think he wants to do it for us. I think he's trying to pick up a lady. He's just trying to set the mood, you know?
That's so funny.
Do you have fears as a business owner?
As a business owner?
Yeah. Do you have fear like everything's gonna crash down? Like what happened in COVID could happen again?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even touch base into COVID. There's a lot there, but you know, that's a hard question because I am. Ooh, this is gonna be really nerve-wracking to say, but it's a real big fact about me.
Let's take a big gulp.
I know.
Cheers. It's got no alcohol, by the way.
Thank goodness. So I'm like fearless.
Like that.
I'm just a fearless person, and it's not like there are things in life that scares me, but they're like little things like bugs or like haunted houses, you know?
Like, would you open up a third place? Like, that's a scary thing. Like, you open up a third one.
No, it's not scary. It's stupid.
Why is it?
I'm just kidding.
If you're making money in both, why not have 5?
No, it is true. But, because, so that's like a whole other thing too, is like the way that I like to run my businesses, it's very personal. And the relationships are so huge to me that having just the two, that was such a big challenge for me because the way that I run my business is so based on relationships with people that I think that if I opened up a third, that I would have to change my whole way of thinking about my business.
Do you have to have 3 locations? Why can't you have one that's 3 times the size?
I definitely could.
Does that make sense what I just said? So like instead of having multiple locations and see it as like 3 different locations, why not have one that's massive? I don't know.
I think that
60 chairs.
No, for sure. I do think that could work, but something that someone told me.
Your hair?
It's beautiful. Something that someone told me after I signed the lease to open up my second salon. He has ran multiple businesses, mostly tech businesses, but he has had all different amounts of employees work for him, and he said that he was happy for me that I was opening up a second location, but he said there's a point of when you open up a business or run a business, and there's a number of employees that work for you or people that work for you, where you are not as in control of like the relationships and the team as like you'd like to. Like you hit a different level of your business. Like that's what causes a lot more problems and issues when you hit to like this middle number. Because when you get to like the corporation status where it's like this large number, it's good. But then when you're in this middle number, I can't really remember what he said to me, but
In the in-between number?
the in-between number is really hard. And honestly, after experiencing it for the last 2 years, having that middle number, he said past 30 people is really difficult. It's like between 30 and like 75, I think is what he said. And like I truly do feel that. I feel like having past 30 people is extremely hard for me to have things in place. Like I almost in a way am really good at owning something that is really intimate, and maybe I'd be really great at owning something that was really big because I have a lot of ideas and stuff, but that in between is really hard to like have the type of mindset that I have. I'd have to change the way that I did
The
things.
scaling. So I like that you were saying that, you know, you're fearless. You were talking about maybe living in a different country. Like we've always thought about that too.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah.
Is there a reason?
So fortunately we have been able to travel a lot of places, and that was just a place where we just felt like we could live.
What part did you guys go?
We went all over in Spain. I would say we would probably live in Madrid.
Such a fun city.
Yeah, it really is.
It's awesome.
It's
Food,
really-
the
yeah.
place, the people.
Yeah.
So you can take your skill and apply it anywhere you go. What about him? Like he can't do cater from there. So how does that work? Or is the business self-sustainable right now with the clients?
I think that he could get his business to a point where, so we have both the last couple of years we've talked about moving to another country, and so we both have kind of started to do things in our business to get it to a point where they could run itself. But both of our businesses in the last like 2 years have grown so much. Like we've been cruising, and now my husband's business at a point where it's growing so big that he's having to like learn new ways of how to run his business. So
How many employees does he have, or how does that work?
the way that his business is that, so he I think has like 15 full-time employees. I think it's like 12 to 15 full-time employees that work for him all the time, and then he has a lot of people that are on call because he does catering events anywhere from a shower that has 25-30 people to a wedding that has 300 people to big corporate events that have like 17,000 people.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he also just catered like the VIP for Super Bowl, and he's about to do F1.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the biggest thing that's happened in Vegas.
Yeah. It's a really
Super
big
Bowl
deal.
and Formula One.
Yeah.
So is it to a specific? Is it like the T-Mobile corporate thing, or is it the Allegiant, or is it when you work at the Allegiant, for instance, for the Super Bowl? Was it for a team, or was it for a group of people? Or
He was hired by Super Bowl, I think, or hired by like usually he's hired by an event company. That the event company is hired by the people.
got it,
Super
running the
Bowl.
event.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
like
pretty dress.
with F1, that is so pretty. With F1, he was actually hired by F1.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit. Once he performs, did he do it last year or no?
No, he did events for F1 last year, but this year he's actually
He must have
there.
done so well that they bring him on board for year 2, and if he does a kick-ass job, he'll have a client for the next 8 years.
Yeah, well, his goal is like for the next 10 years, but
Well, because it's
they
a
have a
10-year
contract here
Yeah,
for
it's a
10
10 year.
years.
It's a 10-year with them.
yeah,
Well, the
So-
Super Bowl is 10 years, or not Super Bowl, the Formula One is 10 years here.
right.
That's awesome. Yes. Oh, that's so awesome.
So that's like really cool, and yeah, so now we're like, okay, eventually we'll make our way to like out of the country. That sounds really nice, but our businesses just keep changing and doing well, and we keep doing different things. And
That's so cool to see you guys grow and expand, and
yeah.
that's super fun. Is it high-end food?
All of it is super high end. I think that's also what kind of sets him apart in what made him so successful in Las Vegas, is that he isn't like your mom and pop like caterer where like they just like heat up frozen food and just do your basic like chicken and mashed potatoes like you see at weddings. He went to one of the top culinary schools in the United States. at Culinary Institute of America, and so there's huge chefs that are super high end and that have gone to that school, and so
The CIA.
he pretty much he pretty much cannot make anything simple. So what his thing is in his company, like what his
Well, give him a shout out. What's his company?
Oh yeah. So it's Cut and Taste Catering, and so
Cut and Taste
what
Catering.
Cut and Taste does is they're all about like the way they present food, and they want it to be an experience.
Awesome.
And so he's like all about doing things different, so like a different take on like what other caterers do, like how they can do things differently. So yeah, it's kind of different. So like when he gets hired with a client, if they're just like, oh, I want like tea sandwiches or something, he's like, no, we don't do that.
We don't do the easy stuff.
No.
How do you guys separate the family life from the business life?
That's a good question. I feel like we're always working on that, but I think we do a really good job. So the only reason why I say that is like we really enjoy our free time, and I think that we make the most of it when we do have free time.
Do you guys have any free time? Because you have how old is your kid?
Yeah,
2?
so we have a 3-year-old little
3?
boy,
Yeah.
and
Running around.
Yeah, it's hard. You know what? We're so lucky because we have so much help. So my husband's parents live in town, and that little boy is so loved. We have a nanny. We have best friends that are like his family, like aunts and uncles that are always like wanting to watch him.
Is your family here? Your parents?
So both of my parents passed away, and I don't personally have any family here except for my brother, and yeah, so.
Were you young?
My mom passed away right before I met my husband and became a hairdresser when I was 21.
Oh yeah, you were young.
Yeah.
My dad died when I was 21 too.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was a college student. What, was your mom sick or?
Oh man, that's a long story too. So my mom unfortunately was addicted to prescription drugs. And I think I don't really know a lot of like where it started, but what I have learned is that it started with postpartum depression, and she couldn't like sleep at night. And I think back then, years ago, they didn't have medication like they have now where it's like non-addictive. Like back then when you took medication, it was very addictive.
Yeah. Well, people are dropping in nowadays too because of how not just the painkillers or pain medicine. My dad was an alcoholic, so he died at 56, a shriveled, alcoholic man.
Really,
but it does impact you.
Yeah.
Were your parents together at that time?
No, so my parents separated when I was only 1 year old. So.
Did you see them?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, did you know your parents?
Yes. So I grew up with my mom. Like, my mom was, I want to say single mom, but she was married to my stepdad for a while. But yeah, I lived with her until I was 18. I moved out for a little bit, and then right before I started hair school, right before I turned 22, I moved in with her, and she kind of promised that she would like clean up her act and stuff. There was like a lot that happened before that, but yeah, she like went and got help, and I think she was in like a facility for a while, got help, convinced me to move in with her, and was like, I'll help you. I know your dream is to go to hair school.
So you grew up with like your mom was going through it.
Yeah.
Like your 14s, 16s, 18s, like the stuff that you have memories of.
I would say.
And your dad, where was he?
My dad, so my dad wasn't really a part of my life. He was a musician from when that's how my parents met. He was in a band, and my mom met him like at a bar that he was playing at, and they fell in love.
A groupie.
Yeah, I guess so. And they had like, it's weird to talk about them because they had so much like respect for each other throughout my life. I'm sure there was like some challenges that I do know of, but like my mom being a single mom, but my dad was a musician and he was just always on the road. And I think because
as a mom, it's difficult.
It was like he was out of sight. I was out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. So he was such a proud dad, but because he wasn't around, he didn't know how to be a dad. So he was not really present in my life ever. Like never showed up to like my birthday parties. Like I would maybe get like a phone call on my birthday, but there was like some years I definitely didn't hear from him. And then, you know, he, in certain points in my life, like he'd move back to Las Vegas, and then as an adult, when my mom passed away, he also tried to be a part of my life, but
so he knew. Like when it happened.
He knew, yeah. he at that time had actually moved back to Las Vegas when I was older, and he moved in with my grandmother, and he just like I don't really just he was such a free spirit, such a sweet
bohemian.
Yeah, totally. Like, and he always had this like dream that he was gonna be this famous singer all the way until he died, literally. And
How old was he?
I think he was like, I know it's so terrible, I should know my dad's age, but I think he was like in his like mid 50s, late 50s.
That's pretty similar story.
Yeah, like maybe late 50s.
My dad was not a bohemian though.
No.
He could not sing for shit. I mean, I don't know, but
No.
I don't think he sang ever.
No, what was he like?
From what I remember, I
Yeah.
mean, my mom divorced from my dad when I was probably 7,
Yeah.
so younger. But no, he was an architect, so I know he
that's
was and he was an architect. I guess the next level would be the person who signs the approval of the buildings and stuff. So he stopped.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
so
cool.
he was I guess very much respected by up and coming architects, because if you need to build something, you need a signature of the expert,
Right.
and he would be the guy who just give the signature.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I don't know of anything
else.
that's actually
Oh.
built. You know,
Oh,
like
from
be like,
him.
oh, that's his building, or
Yeah,
that's
that would be
his-
cool to know.
Yeah, and my brother is an architect now.
Oh, really?
Too. Yeah, they
Oh,
went to the
that's
same
super
school
cool.
and everything. Yeah, he got definitely the gene, the talent for that, because I can't draw for shit. You know.
Do you think as like an architect that you need to be a creative person?
100%. Like, he gives me
Yeah.
blueprints, and I was like, oh, and there's the house, and here's the shower, and all I see is like lines. So I was like, honestly, I don't know what I'm looking at right now. Like, I have no idea. And they do see things differently. Like, when they walk into a room, they analyze the angles, and they see the lines.
That's
and the pipes,
crazy.
and
I feel like it's a different type of creative though, because
Yeah.
I feel like angles and lines and stuff is very much like geometry.
Yeah,
So it's like math.
And I'm good at math, but the way they see
It's
the
different.
world, the spacing, and what materials they're using,
Yeah.
or whatnot. So
That is cool.
so that was obviously, so that now I'm understanding more about sort of you, and so when that happened, like you said, you just met Jeremy right after that, like when your mom.
Okay, so no, I actually, my mom, when I moved in with my mom is right around the time that I met Jeremy, my husband,
Mhm.
and it was just like not anything serious. That's not even like a great story of how I met him, but super happy I did. But we were at a different part in our life. Like, I think I was like kind of struggling to figure out what I was gonna do. I went to college for a couple years, but I knew I wanted to do hair, but I was kind of avoiding it. And Jeremy was partying, but also he went to CIA, and he came back to UNLV to do to get his bachelor's in food and beverage management. And yeah, I moved back in with my mom, and she convinced me, like, follow your dreams, like go to hair school, like you've
That's
been
cool.
wanting to do that for a long time. I'll help you with any of your bills that you have. That way, like, if you move in with me, you won't have like rent,
Crazy amount, yeah.
things like that. And so yeah, and then I did, and she kind of like still seemed a little off and not good, like right in her mind when I moved in with her. But I started hair school, and then a month into hair school, I was just, I was kind of living my own life. I was like 21. I was in hair school, really busy working a job at night, and didn't really see her much, but lived there, of course. And yeah, I think that she ended up having like a heart attack in her sleep, but I think it was because she finally was like clean, and she was probably clean for like maybe 2 months, and she was trying to come off of like, I think
Everything from the years before.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't really know how that works, but yeah, I mean, from what I learned, she had a heart attack in her sleep.
Wow, and you were there at the house. That's rough.
I wasn't actually there in the house, thankfully, because that would have been hard. But I was actually at Jeremy's house.
When this happened?
Which I know I shouldn't even be laughing about that, but I think that's what kills me, is like, my mom was struggling so bad that I almost in a way feel like she was very codependent on me, and she called me every 30 minutes. It was really hard, and I was frustrated, and obviously, like, I don't like to have regrets, but if I could go back, I feel like now, when I was so young, I didn't have the patience like I have now, but and it's
A person
hard.
changes, huh?
Oh, I mean, totally. But also too, like, when you're going through that and dealing with other people's problems, like you almost lose your patience. You almost feel like you're going crazy. And so, you know, I remember answering the phone and I was just annoyed with her, and something I always grew up doing is I always said I love you before I got off the phone with her, like no matter how angry I was with her. But
that's very important.
That night I didn't. So yeah, that's something that I obviously have had to like work through. But
are you superstitious about those things? Like, do you think like things happen for a reason? Like,
I mean, I don't know. With that whole thing, it's like it's different. I am a very superstitious person, and I like when I say that, like,
why you don't change your socks and like those kinds of things for like a week, and then you know, what kind? You have a rabbit's tail?
No, nothing like that. And honestly, like I would say I am superstitious, but there's definitely things that I don't do. But I'm just like, you know, like breaking a mirror.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like seeing a black cat, like spilling the salt.
Or like you see like crows.
Yeah.
Walk under a ladder. Definitely never walk under a ladder.
No?
No. There's like little things like that I'm just like, ooh, no. It just gives me like...
Where do you think that comes from?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
I mean, did you have a friend that someday they said, you know what, I saw a black cat and then I got, you know, stung by a wasp or something?
Literally nothing. Nothing.
There has to be. You just don't remember.
Well, you're okay.
Something's planted in the seed. That's a subconscious belief.
I totally think so. But, you know, something too that is I've learned about with my husband is like our past lives and like phobias and
like
stuff.
Past lives, are you talking about yourself or your previous lives?
Yourself in a previous life.
Ooh, okay, that's good. Okay, so you are of the belief that you lived different time, different life in a different place.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm 100% like I 100% believe that, but my husband does, and so we've read a lot of books on it. And
okay, what's the last one that you read?
It's called like Many Lives, Many Paths or something. I can't remember.
The reason why I'm asking this is because
I have a terrible memory when it comes to that stuff.
It's because I've had someone here who was a theta healer. I don't know if you know what that is, but
I don't. Okay, Many Lives, Many Paths.
Many Lives, Many Paths.
Yes.
And she started talking about this, and she talks about regression and living our past, and and that she's like, it's not only, she's like, I not only have to heal my wounds from when I was a child, but I have to heal the multiple previous lives, and our parents, and my parents were abused, and then their parents, and you're carrying generations of pain. And she was so intensely talking. That podcast was probably the most intense and fun, and so many random things happen in this podcast.
Really?
So many things. I ended up getting a freaking colonics.
I know about this. Yes, Sam told me that.
Anyways, like,
yeah, that's crazy.
I never thought I was gonna have a guest, and all of a sudden someone's jamming the thing of my woohoo.
No, I know. Actually,
it was but then the podcast got like, it's the only podcast that's been malfunctioned.
Really?
Like, of the 3 cameras, only one of them, and only one caught the audio, and only one camera caught the video. So the editors couldn't mesh the audio with the cameras.
So you can't even play it?
It's the only one that hasn't known that I have to refilm with her. But I already know what happened last time. I was like, I ain't going to do that again.
That's true. Well, Sam told me about that, and I was like, do I want to get that done? That sounds interesting.
Listen,
do you feel good?
You. Yes.
Did you feel good after? Like, how long after did you feel good?
In the process of doing it,
you feel violated.
It's very uncomfortable, and especially for me, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
And you're putting the Vaseline in the hands, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, it is very helpful. So the reason why this whole thing started with it is because she was talking about nutrition and the healing, and then she said colonics, and she, you know, and then I think I mentioned it as a joke, and she said, oh, I'm a certified colonics, and I laughed again or something, and she was like, no, seriously. And
she said she was.
Yes, and she said I do it like every month, and I heal from within, and I take all the toxins and everything. And
that sounds like a lot.
But really, like, I guess if you do it multiple times, you just go and it cleanses you out. You lose multiple pounds of waste that's attached to your long intestines.
I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense.
Anyways, there's so many things random things that just like happen, and that was one of them. And as I'm talking to her, she's like, and I just said like, well, who taught you this? I'm just curious about.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh my God, he's actually right here, like 2 blocks from here. And I was like, should we go? And she goes like, do you want to? And I was like, and I'm on camera, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. This will be great content. Holy shit! I went there, got my chakras read.
You
all
did?
this thing. Yes, like it was intense.
Wait, did you film it?
No,
You
like
should have.
Well, this part we got out of the car to join into this.
Right.
So I took my phone and I filmed the area. I have over 50 videos of my colonics.
Sam did tell me that, and she was like, you wouldn't show her that.
I've never shared anything.
Yeah.
The fact that the camera's malfunction tells me something. But at some point I will.
Wait,
I
so
will
does
share.
that mean that you're superstitious then? You
It
just said that.
It just means that that's the only episode that didn't work for a reason.
Okay.
But the
Yeah.
conversation was like that. Now, I wasn't expecting it from you, and it was just such a cool.
Well, it is similar. It's similar.
But
in a
this is
way.
what she does for a living. She is a theta healer, which what it
Actually,
means.
I've never heard that before.
It means you remove at a subconscious level
Okay.
all
yeah.
these limiting beliefs, fears, whatever happened that you are not even aware of. I should introduce you to her.
Yeah, I would like it.
She literally like runs seminars on this, and she's awesome.
So I would love that. I love people that are like that, and I like to hear
She's got
their
a fucking story.
their
let me tell you.
stories.
Fucking
But also
crazy.
people that are like that, sometimes I don't vibe with them. Just sometimes, but I might vibe with her. It just takes.
I
like,
think she's amazing.
yeah, there's like just certain people that like I don't know that are almost don't have enough information to back up. Like, you know, when people they're just like feel good people, and I think that's super great.
Yeah. No, she's been studying it for many
right,
years.
and like, but it's a difference when people actually like do the research and like study rather than they're like, oh, I feel it in my.
She's
like, soul.
certified and studied what.
I mean, I'm sure she's
I'll
wonderful.
let her like do her thing, but I'll connect this. But anyways, like there is a point where you know our past lives maybe have influence and stuff. Do you guys when you're cutting hair and spending time with your, I guess, guests?
Yeah.
What do you call them?
Clients.
Clients. That's
Mhm.
the best word.
Mhm.
Do you guys talk and you know everything about them?
Yeah,
Is this like a
I know
Is
everything.
this a cliche or is it a real thing where,
No,
where
it's
you
real.
know the what's going on with your client's life with your
No,
person?
there's like a joke that you know every single thing about your clients except where they part their hair. Like, you always forget where they part their hair, but you remember their grandmother's name, like what high school they went to. Like,
so you're a
their
part-time
ex-boyfriend.
psychologist, part-time
Yeah.
stylist.
No, you know everything. I think that's like kind of why part of the reason why I love my job is
Mhm.
I love to tell stories
Yeah.
and I love talking to people. And I even joke around with my husband all the time, and I'm like, ooh, that's good content for tomorrow. Because, like, he'll do something silly, and I'm like, ooh, this is perfect.
Do you take new clients? Or do you like
I
how
do, yeah.
You personally?
Yeah, I do take new clients. I go through phases where, like, not phases, but there's certain times a year where I don't take new clients. And honestly, the only reason...
Popo.
Yeah. The only reason why there's certain times I don't take new clients is because I have a bad experience with a new client.
And then you just take a little break.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I need a break.
Have you ever messed up someone's hair?
Yeah, of course.
What-
We all learn from our mistakes.
What did you like burn it or did you like did the wrong color or what was it?
So
It can't be just like, oh, I cut off half an inch because that.
no, there's been like, I would never say that I like ruined someone's hair, but there's definitely been like a couple times. Like, it's been very rare, but especially early on, like I definitely didn't know what I was doing and I was still learning. So I'm sure, like looking back on my old work, I'm like, ooh, I could have been better. But as for like feeling like I actually like failed and like ruined someone's hair, like
Do people ever walk out like crying like in the movies?
I've only had like one.
And not just with you. Have you seen it where someone just like yells at one of your people? Like
yes.
they do. People go crazy and they yell at their
Yes.
hairdresser.
Okay, this is another fun fact about me. I actually like love dealing with those people. It's my favorite.
with the nutcases.
Yeah, I love dealing with them. It's
And what
my
do you
favorite.
tell them?
Well, I think the biggest thing is like when someone has a problem, when they're
Yeah.
not happy, like it's obviously best to just let them talk it out. you know?
But if they're crying, my hair.
Yeah.
Come out. I got a wedding.
So it's like one thing when like they're super upset, you just let them talk it out. And it's usually why someone is upset is because of something that they have had like a bad experience with. So like they had a bad experience somewhere else, but they have trauma from it. And so when they come into our salon and they're not liking what they're seeing, a lot of it has to do with like not even the situation, what's going on in my salon, just something they've experienced in the past.
From a different place.
Yes, because like
so usually like people are there for the first time. That makes
yes,
for
the first
like...
time, always for the first time. People that are clients that are unhappy, it's always for the first time. And I also should correct what you're like probably thinking is like, has someone like messed up one of my clients or one of my stylists messed up a client's hair? That like rarely ever happens. Most of the time when people are upset or they're kind of being out of line and treating my hairdresser bad is just their own personal like thoughts and experience.
That's actually what I meant. I would never I'm not insinuating that like, oh, it was such a terrible job that they cried. No, but like people's expectations in their head, they just something goes on and they just like erupt from some people for no reason.
No, there's angry people out there. But what I have learned over time is like those people are angry because of their own something that's going on in their own life.
Something else.
And
I think like a pain point.
There's two things. Like so I love dealing with it because I like to talk it out with people and get them to kind of figure out what it is where it started from, and like almost in a way it's like therapy. But the other thing is like sometimes I just like to tell people to get the F out.
you get to like,
and it's
be
like
boss.
Feels kind of good.
Well, you're defending your crew.
And like one of the things in my salon that my team knows that is different from a lot of workplaces or salons is that I always put my salon team first before the client. So like to me the clients are not always right, and they don't come first. And
if they're being nutcases, then
because like the people that I hire, we do a lot of training. I'm really particular about who I hire. They have to have certain type of work ethic, behavior, communication. Like we train on how to do consultations to make sure that people are getting what they're wanting. Like there's a bunch of steps that my team knows to follow. So usually if someone's like upset, I feel super good about how to support my hairdresser.
It wasn't your team.
I don't ever feel like it's my team. And if I do, then like I always talk to, like if there's a problem, I talk to my team first. And I'm like, do you think that you could have done anything different? And if they tell me they do, then I suggest how to go about it from there, or I'll make sure and tell the client like, hey, we're gonna like go about it this way from here. We're gonna fix it, or we're gonna take this step next to make sure that you're happy. But it's like really rare to deal with people that are extremely unhappy. Most of the time, like we've had clients upset and treat my hairstylist badly, where I'm like, hey, like what is it that's like bothering you? Tell me about your past experience. Like why are you afraid of what your hair looks like now? Like and they'll usually say like, oh well, because I had someone treat me this way, or someone left my hair orange and I'm afraid she's gonna do that. Or they'll say,
so they already come in with fears.
Yes. Or they'll be like, sorry, my boyfriend broke up with me yesterday and I'm just in a bad mood. Literally that happens all the time.
You have like breakups that they come in, they fix their hair, they gotta have like a new look.
Yes.
I just broke up, I want to change my hair, new look.
One time, someone left my chair, and I did her hair. We did a haircut. She was super happy. We had a great conversation. I go home. She was like one of my last clients, and like 9 p.m. at night, I'm like looking through my email, and I see that I get a bad review on Google, and it's that client, and she's like, she complained about the way I did her haircut, and I was so confused, so I sent her a text.
But she complained on
Google.
Yeah.
So I sent her a text.
Instead of in person talking to you. Yeah.
I sent her a text the next morning, and I said, hey, I'm really confused because we had a great conversation. I confirmed that you liked your haircut. You know, is there something I could have done differently for you? I'm not understanding why you wrote the bad review. And she was like, I actually went in and I took the review down. I just had a really bad day, and I blamed it on you.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
that makes perfect sense.
What?
But they don't realize that a bad review can like just mess up a business so much. Just like one single bad review messes things up for the business. And if they forget, is they gonna delete it? They may not, but it just messes it up. I
really hate reviews like in general when it comes to like people bad reviewing us, because we give people so many opportunities to make them happy.
Yeah.
Even if someone left, most of the time that people are leaving reviews, we've given them the opportunity to make them happy multiple times. It's just that they have that urge to like to leave you that review thinking that that's what's going to solve the problem, but that doesn't solve any problems.
No, it doesn't. How do you attract new clients now? Is it through social media or is it through word of mouth?
For me personally, I would say for a lot of hairdressers, but most of it is word of mouth. But social media is such a great tool.
Do you get clients that say, I saw you on social media?
Yeah.
How do you get the reach? Like, who's filming your content? Who's doing your social media stuff?
So I've always done like a mixture. So I film and I take my own photos, but then about once or twice a year, I hire someone professionally to come in and take photos of either me working, or I'll go into a studio and
so
film
this
content.
is like very rarely. So most of the time, so everything that is in your social media accounts, like you're the one with your phone, you're the one posting it,
always
checking it,
yes,
answering DMs,
yes,
seeing who's disliking, liking posts.
Yeah.
That's you.
Always, yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
always been me.
You don't have a coordinator in your salon or someone that does it?
So I do my own, and then when I started my first salon 7 years ago, I ran the social media. I am super passionate about social media, and branding and aesthetic is like a big deal to me. And it's been really, really hard for me to find someone that will do it the way that I do it.
Like with your style?
With my aesthetic, and it's probably because I'm just so picky. But
you change. I want to know about the tattoos.
Okay, I'll tell you. But yeah, so I feel like also it's really important to be genuine over social media. So, but yeah, now
I like your stuff.
I actually do have someone that helps me with social media. That is a stylist in the salon. She actually was my assistant, so she knows my aesthetic and the way I like things. And
okay.
so she does stuff for like the businesses, but not for my personal account.
Well, that's what I meant for the businesses accounts.
Yeah. So like it's a mixture of me and her, but yeah, she does a lot of it. So, but yeah.
So you were saying that you had some wild times when you were younger. Is that when the tattoos came about?
No.
What is that one with the
this one right here?
color? Let me see. I saw it earlier. Yeah, with the.
Yeah.
Can you show here?
I don't know. Can you see it?
Show?
Oh, you can kind of see it.
It's like a wheel with multiple colors, and it's got three triangles in the middle.
Mm-hmm. It's a color wheel.
What is that? Oh.
For like hair.
Yeah.
For hair color.
Oh, that's okay. I'm describing
You're
exactly
like,
what it is. It's like
oh.
a wheel. It's got colors, and you're like, yeah, it's called a color wheel.
It's a color wheel, and I got it.
So I've never seen it. Okay, so that's what it is.
So I got it because I won that color award.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. What about, what's the other one? Is that a octopus, a red octopus?
I know, it looks like that. This is
there
just
you
a
go,
blow
nice.
dryer.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, I
Yeah.
see the other part. Okay.
Blow dryer, and then this is just like colorful air that's
Oh,
coming
so
out.
you have stuff. Oh, you're so on point.
It's for my
So people can find out who you.
life.
Yeah, people can know who you are by just looking at your tattoos.
Yeah, my life. And then when I opened up Wildflower, I got wildflowers on my arm. So they're all like different meanings for things.
Well, I want to know how you came up with the names of your two businesses.
Okay. So, Wildflower Collective. I do not know what it was, but I was having dreams when I was first opening up the salon, and I was wanting to open up a salon. I was having dreams, and I was really thinking hard on what I wanted to name the salons, or the salon. And for some reason, like, Wildflower just was something that felt right, and
It's a great name.
Yeah, it's like not really unique, but there is a meaning behind it. So the reason why I decided to go with Wildflower is because of what a wildflower is. So wildflowers, there's millions of different varieties of wildflowers, which to me represented like human beings. There's a million different types of human beings and personalities, and a wildflower is known to be like extremely strong because like it can live through like cold weather, hot weather. It can be like stomped on, and
it's
like
resistant.
it can still grow. So like
I like that. That
yeah.
should be a reel. This right here, Gabby. We'll make this into a reel.
Yeah. So
that's good. You should make content about that.
I should.
Yes, absolutely. About the idea, the birth, like what it represents, like exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
There's
a lot.
Do it in the wildflowers, scenario, not in my car.
I know. There's like a lot. There's so much that I can say. Like I said, like I'm such a storyteller, and I am such an open book, and I have so many thoughts and feelings, and there's probably so much I could share about my life, the way I think, and my businesses. But like, I am not a very confident person, and
How come?
I'm thinking.
You got it going on.
I know, that's what people
you got successful
say.
business.
I know, and I
You got see your swagger. What do you call these? The stuff that you're wearing?
What?
A romper? What is it called? Is that what it is?
No.
What is it?
A purse? No.
No, like
I'm not
your
wearing
clothes,
anything.
your
I'm
outfit.
just wearing an outfit, jeans and t-shirt.
Oh, I thought this was all one piece.
No, I think the coolest thing that I'm wearing right now is my silver shoes.
Let me see
That's
those. It's getting dark.
I know,
Oh, okay,
can't
so
see 'em.
these are bad. Oh, you have another tattoo by
I know.
your
I have
ankle.
tattoos everywhere.
So you're
But-
talking about the self-confidence. So, but if you get shy in front of a camera, is that what you're saying? Or you just don't want to talk much about your
I don't
accomplishments?
necessarily think it's a camera. Or talking about my accomplishments, but it's about how, and I actually see a therapist about this, but I do not feel like a very intelligent person. And so when I'm speaking, I feel like I don't speak like I'm intelligent, and that is something that like kills my confidence.
So that's a limiting belief that needs to be repressed and
I
removed.
know.
Because I can hear in your tone of voice, it goes down even when you're trying to explain it. But when you were explaining it before, what Wildflower is, I could see
No, you're right.
your imagination.
Yeah.
I could see that you were just like in you. And what I'm seeing is that Cena gets in the way of Cena.
No, Cena does get in the way of Cena all the time.
Yeah, like if you remove yourself. So there's a show. Have you ever seen Rick and Morty? Do you know what that show
I
is?
know what it is, but I've never watched it.
Anyways, it's about the smartest man in the world, but he's also like a severe alcoholic, and he goes on adventures in the universe with his grandson. But anyways, he invents this he's super toxic. The grandfather is like toxic, a drunk, mean, just like a real asshole.
Yeah.
And so he invents a machine where it just sucks out the toxicity out of him.
That's what I need.
And it creates a different person.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's nice. And everybody likes him. And he treats him with respect. And he's like, what happened? He's like, oh, I just removed the toxicity out of me. Like, it was nothing else that was going on in the outside of the environment. It's just like, it's been sucked out of me. And then you meet this other guy who's like the genesis of everything that's wrong. Just negative thinking, fearful.
Oh
and
my
asshole.
gosh, really?
Yeah. So it's just a really funny way of saying, like, sometimes if you remove this part of ourselves that we have, these toxicity, these feelings, this feelings of not self-worth, and it really is nothing on the outside, but if you just suck it out, take it, like, you realize, like, wow, like, I really got it going on
That's true.
when I'm not in the way of myself.
Yeah, you're always in the way. I mean, I am always in the way of myself.
Yeah,
It's so
but
true.
I had to work. I had to also like do. I had to write stuff down and do some things on that aspect. Yeah, you write down like columns, resentment, fear, and
that's what I'm doing right now.
And then you write down, what caused it, and then how it affects you, and then what is your part, and then you go through the whole. This guy just ran the red light. Oh.
Yeah, I am trying to work through that right now, and I'm actually like discovering like where it kind of came from.
And you need somebody to guide you through it, because it's hard to see. You can't change something you can't see. Like, if you go back to the restaurant analogy, like, you're not gonna order more shrimp unless you take an inventory and realize that you're out of shrimp. I should use your stuff. You're not gonna run order more paint or shampoo or whatever if you don't take inventory at your place and realize, oh, we're running out of this color paint.
That's true.
You have to do inventory on yourself and be like, oh shit, I'm low on self-esteem. Oh shit, I'm high on jealousy. Oh shit, I'm high on anger, whatever it is, and you have to discard those things. Like, that's part of the
that makes sense.
self-inventory.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, it's interesting because whenever someone does ask me about something that I feel really good about and confident in, like, I know that I even carry myself differently when I'm speaking about it.
Would you be opposed if I have my marketing manager, just for 1 hour, just ask you questions and then film all of this and then create reels for you? Like,
yeah, I would love that.
Like, he'll bring the camera, he'll ask you questions, and this is what he does, like, because we do a lot of social media for people, for accounts. We grow people's businesses.
Yeah.
And and you have to drag stuff out of lawyers or dentists or real estate or whatever, and I feel like the way you just described what Wildflower is and how the idea came about was like such a great 45-second, and then he will prep you with more questions. So all you have to do is show up.
Yeah,
He'll come to your store, and then he'll ask you from questions for an hour, and then we'll give you the footage. You can create content out of that.
That'd be so cool. Yeah, I would love that. I mean, like I said, I feel
and
like
for Jeremy too, like if he wants to do another session separately, like about what it is to build a catering business, grow it, his first client, why he wants to be different, his name for his company.
Jeremy hates talking about himself, but he has so much to say too. Like
but that's really it. You just gotta
really
get somebody
cool
that gets you out of it.
No, it's so true. And I'd say that I've said
and
that
JC
to people.
will pull it out of you guys.
No, I think that's wonderful. I have told certain people this in coaching that I do with my stylists, is that people love a good story, and like I think that in general, when I'm searching for a business, if I'm using a company or however I go about my life to like, I guess it's mostly using a company or a service that I use or a product that I use. If that company or that person that created that has a really awesome story, most of the time I'm going to support them. And so what you're saying by like just knowing the story, I feel like makes you so much more likable. Like there's this saying that if you knew everyone's story, like if you knew a stranger's story, you would like fall in love with them.
You become their friend.
You become their friend. You wouldn't even judge them for like whether it was like they had any type of issues, problems, like was a homeless person, whatever. Like if you heard their story, you would love them.
I think it's true. So I love storytelling. I love connecting emotionally versus transactionally.
Totally.
And people remember how you make them feel. They won't remember what you told them.
So true.
Like people remember the words and then they forget them, but I remember, like it was really nice to talk to that person. Like I just remember I felt good with it. I remember he made me laugh so much, and I was like, well, what did he say? I don't remember, but I just remember I laughed so much.
Yeah, it's true.
And people remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
Not so much what you said in the moment.
Yeah.
So so we'll do that. We'll get you like set up,
That's
and
cool.
we'll film some reels for you, and
that's
hopefully
exciting.
that you're aesthetic and you're
I'm
pleased
sure they
with
will
it.
be. I'm sure they will be.
Well, we would film at your place.
I've become less picky. I don't know.
What about the name of the second spot?
Okay, yeah. So the name. Oh, I have to tell you something about the name of the first spot.
Okay.
That's like really weird and crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I was feeling all these things about like Wildflower and why I chose the name, and like wildflowers are strong, they live through anything. Those are the type of people I like to be around. Strong people, great personality, like just like awesome people. And that's just like what our world is made of, obviously. But there was just something really strong about like why, like a feeling I had about that name. And like I said, it's not very unique. Wildflower is whatever, it's Wildflower, and it has become more known. Like flowers have become really popular, like aesthetically. But my dad, who I said I don't really talk that much to, he at first, when I was opening up a salon, he didn't know I was opening up a salon. Wasn't that close with him, and he found out through somebody that I was opening up a salon. So one day he randomly called me, because he didn't really call me that much. I answered, and he said, hey, I heard you're opening up a salon. And I said, yeah, I am. And he was like, well, what are you naming it? And he was asking me questions about it, and I said, I'm gonna name it Wildflower, or Wildflower Collective. And he was like, you're kidding me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he said, do you remember when you were a little girl, your mom used to drop you off at your nana's flower shop? And I was like, yeah, I do remember, because she would have like a tub of red vines, and that's how I fell in love with red vines. And I loved the flowers, and I loved my nana so much, and I do remember her dropping off. And he said, your grandmother's flower shop was called Wildflower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you didn't
I had
remember
no idea.
that? Yeah.
But when he said that to me, I do remember like her logo and on her business card.
So
after
the
he had told
connection
me.
now is there.
And I just remember like kind of daydreaming and just like kind of picturing in my mind like why I wanted Wildflower, and like I don't know, it kind of just, I feel like there's a connection. But anyways,
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I was like shocked.
Right here, another reel. Boom.
Anyway, so with Wildflower, when I decided that I wanted to open up a second location, I didn't really want it to be called Wildflower. I wanted it to be like its own thing, even though the way that I run the salons is very cohesive. So I just chose a different Wildflower's name, and that's why I chose Poppy, because Poppy is another wildflower.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
No? Yeah.
And what's special about the poppy?
I just think it's beautiful. It's a very simple name.
I need to look it up. I like short.
Yeah, poppies are really, really beautiful. I mean, they don't really have a great reputation because I'm pretty sure that they are known to be like part of like a drug process or something.
Like poppy seeds? You don't
Poppy
have to be
seeds.
Okay.
Like I don't know.
What they make? Cocaine?
Is it cocaine? I don't know. I'm not sure. I actually am such a prude when it comes to like drugs.
You've never done any
No
the
drugs.
devil's dandruff?
No.
The devil's lettuce? Nothing?
Yes, I've smoked weed, but I know it's like smoked weed. No, I'm like not.
Forrest Bump with your friends?
No, never. No, and I'm like I don't really drink alcohol anymore, but yeah, I'm like no, I never have done any type of drugs other than smoke marijuana.
There you go.
Yeah, but so I did learn after the fact about like poppy and how it's like was used to produce some type of drug, or it was like a drug. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, so yeah, that's why I chose that name, just because I liked it. Yeah, it was just different. There's so many crazy wildflower names that I was like, that's too intense for me. So I just wanted something that was like clean and simple. So.
And easy to remember. Well, I'm so happy like you both are, on your own journey, on your own path, but you both are being like successful separately and together. I don't know what it's like to like work and have a life and a child.
Yeah, it's hard to find balance, that's for sure. I mean, things got really interesting when we had my son, and also when I gave birth. Literally, the day that I gave birth, I signed the lease to my second location. So.
Wait, you were doing it at the same time?
Yeah, I gave birth and then.
You are fearless. That's crazy.
I don't know if that's fearless or stupid, but maybe a little bit of both. But yeah, so.
What's your son's name?
Jet.
Jack?
Jet. Jett. Jet, like a jet plane.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Thank you.
That could be the name of the third place too.
Oh my gosh, I am not opening up another location.
So that's very clear that's
definitely not happening.
Wait, don't you have a cafe in the second one too?
So yeah, we have Palm Sugar Coffee Bar is inside of Poppy Collective.
So is that a separate entity?
It is, yeah. It's separate. Yeah.
How's the coffee?
The coffee is the best in town.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go.
You took me to Starbucks. I'm just kidding.
It's just the meeting point.
I don't discriminate. I love all coffees, okay? Even Starbucks.
Yeah. So it's its own separate entity that leases a space in your own stuff?
No, I guess it's not. No. So it doesn't lease a space. It's just part of Poppy Collective, but it has its own name and it's like its own business.
So you do keep the books separately?
I actually don't. I keep the books the same, but
okay, so it is the same business.
It is the same, but it's different. You know, to other people it's different.
Got it.
But I know I should have answered it differently. Sorry, but yeah, so it is the same, but it's considered like it to the outside world, to not the business world.
Yeah, because it is a different.
Yeah, it's a different business.
Yeah, it's not the same service.
Right. A lot of people that come inside the salon,
is it a full coffee place? Like I can get a latte, cappuccino. Like...
The best one you've ever had.
Oh my goodness! And who's your baristas?
So we have Jackson and Sydney. They're the best baristas.
All right.
I'm gonna say everything's. I know. I'm gonna say everyone's the best, but
I love that. That means you love your people.
No, I do. I love my people. They're actually like so awesome. And there's like a joke that we only hire redheads for the coffee bar.
Do you? Is it they're only redheads?
They have red hair. Natural redheads. But no, they're like super cool people, and I love them so much. And they make great coffee. But yeah, the coffee there, we have the award-winning for the United States coffee beans, Onyx coffee beans that we have.
I need to go.
Yeah, and
Do I get a discount?
No.
Straight up, she shut me down for 50 cents.
No, I'm just kidding. If we were on camera, I'd be like, yeah, you can have one on me.
We are on camera.
Well, if we weren't on camera.
Oh, I see. There you go. Okay,
Like,
that's
no, you have to pay.
That's
No.
great. That's the way to do it. Being a Vegas local, what's your restaurant spots that you go to? Do you have any favorite restaurant places here?
Yeah. I love Esther's Kitchen. It's so good. Have you been there?
Sounds familiar. Either
Downtown.
people have mentioned it already,
Yeah.
or we actually have been.
Esther's Kitchen is so good. They actually just expanded. So they're downtown in the Arts District. And then I love Anima, which is in the Gramercy. Have you heard
I
of
don't
that?
even know where that is.
Oh, you guys would really like that. At Anima, I am probably going to butcher what their specialty is, but I think it's like European, like style, European American, like tapas, maybe Spanish
What area is it?
dishes. It's on the Southwest Summerlin, in
Nice.
Gramercy. Have you heard of Gramercy?
No, I don't.
They have
think so.
like I think Pinche's Tacos is in there.
I've heard of that place, but I thought that was by the Resorts World, but that might be a different place.
That's a different tacos place. I think. There's a lot in town.
Have you been to a pinball?
No, but I've heard it's really cool.
Is it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I've heard that.
it looks massive, so it's probably fun.
I want to go there.
So that's where the last like 5 minutes I usually like just shooting like quick questions, and you can just tell me so I can find out the most I can about you in the last like 5
Oh, are you
minutes.
gonna do it? You're gonna ask me questions?
A bunch of questions like super
Okay,
fast.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I mean I kind of prepped you with it too.
You did?
Yeah, with it too, like the favorite food. So have you ever taken a picture of the Las Vegas sign?
I have.
At this one or at the other one?
That one. Not this one, not the other one. The other one I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, Vegas local. I'm just showing
I
you
know.
the way.
Ooh.
Favorite kind of music?
Oh, I like folk rock.
What is it?
Folk rock.
What's
Like
folk rock?
indie music.
Oh, okay, favorite band?
Band. I have like a favorite artist.
Okay.
So I like Quinn 92.
God, I wish I knew my music so I could actually. Okay.
That's okay.
Favorite type of sport?
Sport. Ooh. Snowboarding.
Oh wow. Okay. Pet peeve?
Pet peeve?
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I know I have pet peeves, but I just try to love everything about people.
Oh my goodness.
No,
I'm gonna roast you on this one. Favorite pet peeve? She goes, I just love everyone.
I love everyone. No, there's definitely pet peeves.
People who know you, please comment her favorite pet peeves.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a list.
No, I know. Like, I'm sure people, if I ask someone that knows me, they would tell me.
About your husband. What is it about your husband that you don't like?
Oh, you know what? We were just having this discussion because he'll like get annoyed with things that I do. Like not.
Just a quick.
I know. I'm like okay, so he leaves the bread bag open.
Okay, bread bag up. Yeah. That is a pet peeve. Ocean or mountains?
Mountains.
Ooh, I like that.
Mhm.
Favorite movie actor or actress?
I love Julia Roberts.
Great. Which movie?
Pretty Woman. Oh, and Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, those are good too. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In Spain.
Another kid?
Oh yeah, I would love to have 2 more kids, but I might just have 1 more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want a girl or another boy?
I would love to have all boys.
Oh, you will? Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I shouldn't say that because I'll end up with a girl. Sorry
Yeah,
if I have a girl in the future
Yeah,
that's
I don't know,
watching
like,
this.
Yeah. Do you do mini golf?
Mini golf? Yeah, I would love to do mini golf. I like regular golf too.
Or do you play?
No, I don't play, but my dad at one point in my life did teach me how to play golf, and I don't play golf, but that is also another job that I had. I was like a golf caddy girl.
Oh, that is a random one too.
Random, yeah.
If you could go back and what would you tell 13-year-old Cena about yourself?
Oh my gosh, I would tell her that to just wait because you have a whole beautiful life ahead of you and to not worry about anything. That was like when I was 13, it was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets?
I don't like to have regrets, but I think regrets would be to learn. I wish I learned more about like financial, to how to be financially like smart with
Financial
when
literacy?
I was at a young age. Yeah.
That's a great thing to
They need to teach
learn,
that
yeah.
in school, I think.
In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A?
In and Out.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, I love it too, but I'm from California. Starbucks or Coffee Bean?
Oh, my Starbucks.
You would?
Yeah.
Even though you were just knocking on it?
I know. I told you I don't discriminate. I could drink Folgers coffee. I really
Is that
don't
the one
care.
that goes in the red can?
Yeah. I would. There's been moments where I was like, ooh, this coffee was so good. And someone was like, it's Folgers. I'm like, well. I like all coffee, but I'm like a very big coffee drinker. Like, I love coffee to the core. Like, my grandmother served me my first cup of coffee when I was like 10 years old.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
Redo that again. Hey, most attractive thing you find in a person, in a guy.
Oh, humor.
Oh, great answer.
Yeah.
That is
the best.
That is great. Yeah, some people say, the eyes or whatever. And I know when they say the eyes, they're already lying.
I'm all about personality. But even though I think that my husband's the hottest guy in the world, but...
Is he funny?
He's so funny. Oh my gosh. I laugh all the time.
I gotta hang out with him more.
Yeah, I know. We need to hang out more.
Awesome.
I would love that.
And last question, what's your favorite podcast that you've ever been in on?
Yours? Duh. CEO InMotion. Wait, I was like, this is a trick question. CEO InMotion.
There you go. All right.
I
like that.
Yeah, thank you.
This is really fun. I got to know you more.
I know.
I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You got all these things going on. You got little... Who's taking care of the little one right now? Little Jet.
You know what? I just dropped him off.
You just left him?
At Jeremy's event.
What?
Yeah.
Is he working?
He had an event that he needed to be at tonight, and he knew that I had this with you, and he was like, you know, I just dropped Jet off with me at the event. So.
And he's okay with that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. He just kind of had to check on things, and then he probably went home and fed him dinner. But I am a busy person, but I feel like Jeremy and I both, we make time for things that we really want to do that make us happy, and like I love this kind of stuff. So.
Well, we appreciate your time. If you live in Las Vegas, obviously you know where to go now to get your hair did, and this is very awesome. All right, cheers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ciao.